Hello, guys. Welcome to SilvaCast. Welcome to one more episode. I'm Fred Silva, and today we'll talk with a young man from Vietnam. He lives in Canada now, and he's a student. And you will be inspired by his history. And I'm sure that this will help you to gain confidence to speak better English, to speak English with confidence. But first of all, if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, please hit the button below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the like button as well, and that help us to grow this channel and show for more people that yes, you can speak English, everybody can speak English with confidence. So let's get started. Hey Nam, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's a pleasure for me to have you here. So first of all, nice to meet you, and I hope we can have a great conversation today. I want to show to my audience about your experience as an English learner living in a foreign country. So, first of all, please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you live, and what you do.
Uh, Hello. I'm Nam Hai, and I'm from Vietnam, and I'm currently a student studying in Canada. I'm 15 years old and studying at grade 9 high school at Bernie Custis Secondary School. So, yeah, that's basically about me.
Interesting. Do you live in Canada? Which city do you live?
I'm currently living in Hamilton, a city
Ah,
in Ontario, which is like close to Toronto. So yeah, it's kind of near Toronto.
yeah, you said that you are studying there, and but I know that you are not with your family there. So tell me a little bit more about this. You are 15 years old,
Yeah.
but you're not with your family. So tell us a little bit about your experience living in a foreign country. And you are a teenager. You are far away from your family. So this is really interesting because I don't see people doing that so often. So please tell us a little bit more about this experience as a student living in Canada.
Okay. So first, like before I leave my country, I leave my family. It's kind of like excited, like living in a like different country with your family. I think it's gonna be like super fun and stuff. Like I was really looking forward to it. But then when I first come in, and like it's good though, but it was good. But after a few weeks, I kind of like missed my family and stuff. So yeah, but currently right now, after 9 months of living here, I made a lot of friends, so I feel less lonely now. But yeah, I think it's a cool experience for me as a teenager to study in a completely different country without my family here. So yeah, I think it's a cool experience.
Yeah, you are so brave because a lot of people in your age, they don't have courage to do that. They don't have courage to be alone in a foreign country, where the language is different, the culture is different. I think almost everything is different from your country. So you are so brave. I like people like you because you are you go out of your comfort zone. So this is a thing that show that you have a different mentality. So tell us a little bit more about this, Nanhai. Why did you decide to move to Canada? What was the reason?
That's a good question. So my dad has a friend, like really close friend, and he has been living in Canada for like 5 years, and he has just got his green card, like PR thing, permanent resident, so that he can like accept student like me to live in his house, like to study there without like he's my guardian. So that's the biggest reason why I chose Canada as a country to study because he lived there and we know each other. So I moved into his house and he just take care of me. That's the biggest reason. Also, I want to have that PR thing. So and Canada is like accepting immigrants a lot. So that's why the second reason I chose Canada as my destination to study.
Yeah, they are so receptive to immigrants, right? So I think they need people to live there because they,
Yes.
to have more people to work and something. So it's interesting. But what do you think? Do you want to stay there after you graduated, after you finish your studies, or do you think to move back to your country, to Vietnam?
Mm, Personally, I think I would stay here because like the lifestyle, like everything is like pretty much everything is better than in Vietnam. Like the weather, environment, like everything. So I think Canada is probably where I will stay in the future, or probably not Canada, like some country in Europe, but currently it's Canada.
Yeah, I think there are more opportunities to
Yeah.
work and things like that, right? Yeah, I don't know Canada yet. I never traveled to there, but I noticed that it's a country that we have a lot of quality to live. It's a good place to live because it's safe. Things normally works. It's different from other countries, like because Canada is a rich country. You have more opportunities, and I don't know about the weather because I think the weather is quite of different from Vietnam and from Brazil for
Yeah.
sure. Because we live in a like a tropical country, and there it's a little bit different. So tell me a little bit more about this. How is the weather in Canada, and what do you think about the difference between your own country and Canada in this aspect?
So of course the weather of between Vietnam and Canada is going to be so different. Like even in Canada, the weather in each region is like pretty much different. So to compare Vietnam versus Hamilton, I would say it's a lot more cooler here, like colder and stuff. It has no obviously, uh, and the weather the also the humidity in
Mhm.
Vietnam is pretty high, while in Canada it's pretty low. So that's another difference. Mm, I would say sometimes the weather in like in Hamilton it could reach like recently in the summer it could reach like 31 degrees Celsius, and it caused like forest fire, like wildfire. So and the like air quality is was really bad recently because of the smoke from forest fire. So that's another difference, I
Yeah,
think.
I have heard about this. I love Formula One. I watch the races every single Sunday. And this Sunday, it's going to be in Canada. I think it's going to be in Montreal.
Yeah.
And I have seen that the quality of the air there is so bad now because of the fire. So I have been watching things about this, and it's really weird. It's the weather there. It's cold, but in this part of the year, in this time, it's really dry, and things
Yeah.
start to burn all of a sudden. So yeah, it's weird. In Brazil, that happens too, but
Okay.
it's a little bit different because Brazil it's a tropical country. It's hot all the time, so but it's a pity. I know a lot of people are suffering about this. I ask this type of questions to you, Nanhai, because a lot of people that follow me, people that is from my audience, they live in a country they want to move, they want to immigrate to the United States or Canada, and these type of things are so important. Like, what's the difference between other countries and Canada about light there, about weather, and things like that. So we don't speak just about English. We speak about things that it's related to the culture and everything. And I want to go back at the beginning and ask you a question. Uh, you just are 15 years old, but I know you speak very well English. So I want to know what's your motivation to study English, and when did you start to study English?
Oh, so the motivation, like what motivated me to study English, is was my dad said that English is like really important. Like when you grow up, when you like uh, apply for a job or anything, English is necessary. Like when you want to travel the world, you have to know English because it's basically the most popular one. So that's what motivated me to study English, I guess. And this answer to the second question is I started learning English from when I was like grade one, like 6, 7 years old.
Mm.
But like I just study English at school, nothing else. So they teach kind of like I don't know. They just focus on grammar, vocabulary, uh, writing, reading, but they don't focus on speaking and stuff. So that's I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
lucky because, sorry, you're lucky because when I was at that age, I studied English, but just the verb to be, all the time verb to
Yeah,
be, and nothing else.
that's true. So yeah, they just focus on those things. They don't focus on speaking, which is the most important thing. I guess.
I think so. I totally agree. I think speaking is, in my opinion, is the first thing you need to focus. Of course, you need to learn vocabulary, you need to learn expressions and things like that. No grammar, because grammar, in my opinion, is no important at the beginning.
Yeah,
But speaking is really, really important. And I think this is one of the most things that people struggle with. I see all the time people that know a lot of English, they know the rules, they know how to speak, but they don't speak. They don't open their mouth, and then they
yeah,
don't speak. And it's good that you had this perception, because, and then you move to a country that you need to speak the language.
yeah,
You live there, you live in English, your life is in English, you study in English. So this is a really good challenge, and a lot of people just get stuck at that time, at that step. For example, I know people that live in the US for 20 years, and they still can't speak the language. They
yeah.
know a lot of English, but they can't speak the language just because of fear or things like that. Do you have anything in this aspect that you are like fear to speak, or you are afraid to open your mouth, or you was born ready? I can't speak the language. How this happened to you?
Also for English, right? Before I came here, it was like a terrible time for me in speaking. So like whenever I see a foreigner or something, like I'm not like my confidence is not high, so I'm not confident at all. So I didn't
Ah,
talk to them like even one word or anything. I just remain silent all the time. But since I come to Canada, I had to speak. So I think I think it just overcome my fear, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I have a theory about the comfort zone,
Yeah.
because when you are in your comfort zone, it's impossible you grow, because you just do easy things. And I am against to do easy things. For example, this podcast is really hard for me to do it. It's not easy
Yeah.
at all. I talk to natives, I talk to non-natives, and every time I feel like my stomach start to to complain, because it's a hard thing to do. Of
Yeah.
course, people will watch, people can judge me, but I am doing something out of my comfort zone. I usually call the growing zone. It's a place outside of the comfort zone that you can do hard things. You can do things that it's out of the box, and you can improve your English. You can improve yourself as a human being. And this is really good. And what you did moving to Canada is exactly something like that. You are not in your comfort zone right now. You have to study in English. I can't imagine how hard it is because there are no subtitles to read when you are at school, for example. People won't explain to you the expressions. They just want to talk, and this is so much harder. So, how is for you to study in a foreign country and to live there? Like, what's the challenge you face on a daily basis?
So I think probably making friends. That's my biggest fear when I first came to Canada. Because like high school in Canada start from grade 9, so I'm basically a freshman, and yeah, and like everyone in grade 9 is basically a freshman, so they have to make friends, and I think that's a lot for me since I came to school and I took gym as my class, which is great because like gym, we play sport together, so it's more about like teamwork and stuff. So yeah, that's what helped me make a lot of friends from sport because like we basically had to communicate and work together and stuff. Well, so yeah, that's how I met a lot of friends because I thought it was like a biggest challenge, but then I think I met it. Like I have a lot of friends now, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, this is good because you use a common thing between you and natives, for
Yeah,
example, to make friends, like sports. And sport is really good to do that because everybody like the same thing, and it's easy to communicate. It's easy
yeah.
to bring a topic and talk about it. So yeah, it's a good way to make friends. I totally agree. How what are the sports you play in Canada?
Like in Canada.
Yeah.
So in my gym class, it's basically called health class. So we play every sport: basketball, volleyball, badminton, sometimes dodgeball, sometimes soccer. Like we play every
Uh-huh.
sport, but
What's your
they
favorite?
my favorite would be soccer and badminton.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, soccer. I know.
Yeah, I love soccer too. I love soccer too. Unfortunately, Brazil is not the best in soccer anymore, like was in the past. But I really like that, and it's funny because my son loves to. He's a big fan of the Manchester City. So
Oh, it just
I
won
was
in
watching
Canada.
the final game
Yeah.
in Europe Champions League a few days ago, and he got very happy because City won, so it was good.
Oh yeah.
I We enjoyed it at that time. It was really good. So soccer it's a good sport. I love soccer, and yeah, I think it's a good way to make friends. When I was a kid, I made a lot of friends because of soccer, and I was very shy, so it was not easy to make friends. But the
Yeah.
sport brings people together, and this help us to communicate and everything. So, and I think in another country is so much important because maybe you are shy, and that is the shyness and sometimes the language. So it's more challenge than normal,
Exactly.
and you even can make friends. So it's amazing. And Nanhai, how about the culture in Canada? Is it a lot of different from Vietnam, or how
Mm.
is the culture there?
Okay, so it's pretty much different because like let's say just in school, right? Uh in Vietnam we have to like public school. All of our hair must be black because originally it's black, but we cannot dye our hair. We have to wear uniform. We have like to do everything like follow the rule and stuff. Like it's pretty strict. So I guess that's the difference. Meanwhile, in Canada, you can wear whatever you want, like just a bra, just dye your hair whatever you want, just got a tattoo and stuff. Like you can do whatever you want to your body without like without having any permission or whatever. Like, yeah, it's pretty like free to do the stuff you want. Versus in Vietnam, you have to follow all the rules and yeah. So
In Vietnam, things are more strict than Canada.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. For a young man, this is not a good thing.
yeah,
Yes.
I see.
But it's interesting to see that. I didn't know that in Canada it's more free, things like that. Like you don't need to wear the same clothes that other people in at
Yeah,
school. So it's interesting. Do you study in a public school in Canada or a private one?
I'm currently studying public school. Like, yeah, public.
Uh, Maybe there is some difference between a public school and a private school in Canada as well. Because in Brazil, right now it's like in Vietnam. You need to use the uniform and everything. However, that it's not so strict. Uh, of course, a kid doesn't is not normal to paint the hair, something like that. But people are more liberal here also, so it's not so strict.
Yeah, I. That's a good thing, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, it depends on the point of view. I'm more traditional. I think, for example, I don't have tattoos. I don't like tattoos because it's not my style. I respect those that have no problem at all. But I don't want to have one, and I don't want my son have one too. So it's kind of my perception. But
yeah.
everybody can do whatever they want. So it's not so strict like this. So, Nanhai, tell me a little bit about what's your dream? I know you are very young, you are starting your life now, you are living abroad, which is amazing. And but what is your dream? What do you think you will do in the future? So tell us a little bit more about this.
Oh, that's a really good thing to talk about. But like, um, to be honest, I'm currently undecided right now, and I hate myself for that. But I think I will figure it out soon. So right now, I'm like low key. I want to be a soccer player because it's like my dream and stuff. Like patient. That's what I'm very passionate about. Uh, but my mom wants me to be a doctor. That's a different thing. My and could probably be an architect, like designing houses and stuff, like my uncle, because he taught me a lot about that. Or I could be an engineer, like my dad. So currently, I'm undecided, but yeah, because like, I think I have too many choices, and
Yeah, let me
that.
tell you something because I think no, I have the double of your age, and I live more than you.
Oh,
Uh, and I know you need to respect our parents and everything. Our family is so important, but it's important to live our own dream
yeah,
because moms. My wife wants my son have to be a doctor. I don't want there because I know how hard is a doctor
yeah,
life. I know they work a lot,
it
and
be
I told to my son, you can be what you want. I don't want you follow other dreams. You need to follow your own dreams. So, and I think like that. I told him, if you want to be an entrepreneur, I'll be there for you. If you want to be a doctor, I'll be there for you. But you need to decide. You need to have a clear uh, vision what you want. In this aspect, I don't know if to be a doctor or an architect or an engineer is your dream. So you can tell me, but I don't know, maybe to be a soccer player or something like that is your real dream. I don't know. You can tell me. So, but it's important to follow your own dream, and people will respect you because of that in the future. At the beginning, maybe it's kind of weird. It's kind of people can complain about you because you are doing something that they are not used to see. For example, with me, when I decided to be an entrepreneur, I was 35 years old. I was not so young, and even that people people from my family, they say, "Oh, you're not doing the right thing." But I know that it was my dream. So I decided to take the risk. And after a while, when I start to be success, people start to recognize me, as a smart person, as a success person. So, but at the beginning, they didn't understand what I was doing. They just thought I was wasting my time because I had a career working to the government. And then I decided to change everything because I want to live my dream. And I don't regret anything. So yeah, it's important you live your dream, and your parents will respect you because of that when you start to show results. Okay.
Thank you for that advice.
It's my pleasure. So what's your dream? Just to make sure I understand.
Like my dream job or my
In life, dream job or in life, what do you want to achieve in your life?
uh what I want to achieve in my life is possibly like for my kid to have a rich dad and beautiful mom. So yeah, that's probably like my goal in life. Like to reach to that goal, I think I have to work like really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that's good. That's good. I can see you are very focused. You are working hard right now to achieve it. And the one thing that's really good is you are in a right age. If you learn things that you need, and if you push yourself now, you will achieve so much faster than your parents, than other people that because you're young. So I think the most important asset you can have is time. When you're young and you have the knowledge, man, everything uh, goes so much faster than our parents because they don't have this same opportunities we have, and this is really good. So, Namhai, a lot of people will see this video, a lot of people will watch and listen this podcast, and I want to ask you something. For example, if somebody that are watching us right now and they want to move to Canada or another country, a foreign country, what do you say for those people? What they need to pay attention? What's the most important things that they need to be in mind before to do that? Because you already did, you are living there, you are living this experience now. So, what do you say to those people?
So if you guys are like planning to move to another country, even though it's traveling or moving to live there, just do it. Because but also keep in mind that you must have a plan, like what are you going to do there, and you must have like a pack up or something. Like let's say you have to like take care of yourself carefully, like buy insurance, because that's the most important thing. You may think that it's expensive, but it's not expensive at all. Like it's totally worth it, because in Canada, if you have insurance, like everything, like whatever happened to you is gonna be free in the hospital. But if you don't buy insurance, you think you're totally fine. Just make sure that you buy insurance and stuff, because otherwise, if you don't have insurance, it's like expensive in Canada, like to go to the
Wow,
hospital.
this is interesting. It's really interesting because I've heard that in the United States, people can be broke if they don't have interest in. Because if you get sick, you can
Yeah,
spend a lot of money. Maybe you need to
that's true.
to sell your house or something to pay the hospital. So it's a good tip because people that live in a country like mine, we have a free uh, public health system. It's not the
Yeah,
best in the world, but it's free. If you don't have money to pay for a private hospital, things like that, you can have this free service, and yeah, it's good because you don't have to pay for it, and as in Canada and the United States, for example. And yeah, it's really interesting because I never nobody told me about this before, because I don't talk to immigrants so often, but it's a really good thing when it comes to, I need to immigrate, and people don't pay attention to these details. And these details are so important because you can have a big problem if you don't have insurance and you get sick there. So interesting.
Yeah,
Good tip, good tip.
because like recently, right? My one I read, like I was scrolling on Facebook, and there was a post about an international student. He is Vietnamese, and he just came to Canada to study next year, like in September, right? But he came early, and he didn't buy any insurance because like he think he may be well, and he might be fine stuff. But after 2 days in Canada, he was riding a scooter, like an electric scooter, like in Canada, and his head hit like the rock or something, and he had to have a brain surgery or something, and it cost him around like 500,000 because
Wow,
he doesn't have insurance. So and he
man.
started going to Canada to take care of him. But yeah, if you don't have insurance, you're gonna be like, you may think it's expensive, but it's totally not. Like, yeah. So
Yeah, it can broke somebody just with this type of
yeah,
things. 500,000, it's a lot of money. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Good tip. I love that. Good tip. And for you, Namhai, what is your biggest challenge now related to English living in Canada? I know you speak very well. You are in a place that you can practice, but I know still you have challenges with the language. So or with other things. So what is your biggest challenge now that you need to face it and overcome?
Mm, First, when I first came to Canada, everything is pretty hard, especially the language, like pretty much everything, like listening to them. Sometimes I don't even understand, but I just like nod my head that like I'm understanding it. Like I pretend that I understand it, but I'm actually not. But right now is way much better. I can understand them well, but I think I have to work on my grammar when I speak to people, because like sometimes like I speak like the grammar is pretty much wrong. Like sometimes it's wrong. So I mean, people still understand it, but it's not like native speaker what native speaker do. So I think I have to work on that a lot to be a better English speaker.
Interesting. You said something that I left because at the beginning I was like you. When somebody talked to me, especially natives, and I didn't understand, I just knocked my head. I was not just nodding, but I was not understanding everything. So
Yeah, no.
it was bad. But with the time, I start to notice that you don't need to understand every single word they say. You just
Yeah.
need to understand the context. So when I noticed that, it becomes more easy to speak and to communicate with them. But at the beginning, it was really fun because sometimes I I pretend that I was understanding, but I was not.
Actually, yeah.
This is
Because like
normal.
sometimes they just talk too fast, and I'm afraid to ask them to say it again. So I just laugh and kind of like pretend that I'm understanding them.
Yeah. How is the personality of people there? Are they friendly? Are they more close? How is this aspect in Canada?
So in Canada, like people pretty much really friendly. Like pretty much everyone, like whenever we see each other, like even though probably stranger, we will like walk past by each other. We would say good morning or good afternoon, or like hi, have a good day. Like we really say it to each other, like really nice. And
Even they don't know
like
you,
always like
they
second and stuff.
they
Yeah.
greet you, right?
Yeah, they are greeting really well. Meanwhile, in Vietnam, we pretty much just walk past each other and like we don't even say hello or anything. Like it's pretty much different. That I feel like
Uh,
Canadian is pretty much friendlier and like yeah, really nice.
yeah, this is good because this open doors for you. You know, make friends. You speak the language. It's more. You get more comfortable to speak with people
Yeah,
because they are more open to
that's
speaking, right? That's interesting. That's interesting. And last question, and before we finish. So, if you can give just one piece of advice to a student that, like you, in the past, want to learn the language, but are stuck in the same level now. So, what advice you could give to those people that are stuck in English right now, and they want to improve, but they don't know how?
oh. So my advice would probably like if you feel stuck right now, you should probably find a method, like a strategy, like another strategy to be a better English speaker. Like you could talk to Mr. Fresiva here to improve your English speaking skill. Or for drama stuff, you can study on some video on YouTube, like fun video and stuff, or like especially watching movie like English movie would probably help with your listening, uh, and reading, and like you can understand better English. So yeah, that's probably my advice. And don't give up. Yeah,
I
that's
love all your tips because I agree with all of that.
yeah.
The first one I loved more. Just
But
kidding,
that's
just
true
kidding,
though.
just kidding. I'm happy that you said that because you said watch movies, videos on YouTube. I think this is one of the most good things to improve your English. Uh, I like to study with videos. I like to study with movies, series, and things like that because it's fun. It's you like to do that. You like that subject. You like, and I think to study English is important. You studying with something that you like.
Yeah,
If you don't like to study grammar, you need to find a good way to learn grammar without learning grammar. Let's say like that, like this, because if you don't like to do something, you won't do it. So
yeah,
you need to find something funny, something in a way you like to
yeah,
study. And I try to do that with videos on YouTube, with series, when with videos and with movies. And I like that too. So, and yeah, I think this is it's amazing. I hope people can follow your tips because this is so important. And guys, you see, Nanha is a very young man. He's living abroad, and maybe you are in a different position now. You're in a different situation, but you still think, "How can I speak English? I'm stuck. I don't know what I can do." You can see this example. He is living in another country, far away from his family. He's facing challenges every day, and he's still working on this. He's still learning. He's still trying to do something in a good way to improve his English, to improve his life. And people normally give excuses to don't study English. They just say, "Oh, I don't have time." "Oh, I don't have the gift to speak English." But as you can see, it's not true. Everybody has at least 15 minutes, 30 minutes to study. Everybody has uh, the capacity to learn. So it's not something that I don't have the gift. I can't speak English. Everybody can. You just need to be in the right place with surround yourself to good people that can help you. As Nanhai said, you can find a strategy, find a method, and follow it. This is the most important thing. So if you are in this position right now, just find a good method. Start to do it in a on a daily basis or in the time you have. And the last thing you said, Nanhai, it's so important. Don't give up. So I think this is the most important thing. If you don't give up, you will achieve better results than you had in the past. So I think this is the point. You just don't give up and keep doing something towards your dreams, and you will achieve it.
Yeah, it's all about consistency. So just
Exactly.
keep going.
Exactly. Exactly. If you look at the other episodes, I always ask people about this type of things, and they say almost all of them said consistency. You need to be
Yeah,
consistent.
yes.
I think this is the key. Good, good, good. Nanhai, well, I just want to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being with me today. I love our conversation. You are a good, how can I say, inspiration for me. And I think you will be a good inspiration for my audience. Because as I mentioned, it's not normal to see a young guy like you doing something very cool like this, and living in another land, in another place that is not your close, your family is not easy to do, and you are doing amazing. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope we can have another opportunity to talk. And if you want to say something, you're free to do it. So the word is with you now.
I just wanted to say thank you very much for like spending time to talk to me today. And yeah, I wish your channel will grow well in the future, like reach 1,000 subscribers. That's really great.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm working so hard on this. And yeah, the thing that make me happy is I receive good feedbacks about the videos, about the interviews. And for me, this is really good. I think that motivates me to continue to do it and improving the videos and making even better every time. And yeah, I thank you so much for your kind words. And I hope you continue to work hard there and achieve all of your goals, because I can see you have the capacity. You are a great man. You are a smart person. So keep doing what you are doing now. And I think you achieve everything you want. Okay. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. And guys, if you don't like this video yet, please hit the button below and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Have a wonderful day and God bless you. Bye-bye.